thank you for being here today. Today we're speaking about the third Yama, Asteya. And Asteya means non-stealing. And of course it means non-stealing, not taking anything that is not yours in a material sense. But it also means being energetically independent and being able to create your own energy ball. So then you can share it with others. How do we do this? We do this through our spiritual practice. Our spiritual practice is our fuel. And this fuel, hopefully we will gather the fuel in the morning, first thing in the morning, and then go into the world. And in the world we're gonna meet all type of people, all type of situations, and we're probably gonna run into someone that is really needy and really wanting to suck some of that juice from us. And as yogis, yeah, sometimes we are there and we are available and we are willing to share that because we have plenty. But sometimes these relationships, they become like too much. And that's the moment when we need to say, no more, this is it, we're done. And this is very important to set healthy boundaries when we find energetic vampire. And since there's so much stress in our lives in this 21st century, and there's so much, let's say, ignorance about how to connect to the source of the energy, the bigger energy. And there's a lot of beings that are in this constant thirst or hunger for the real thing, let's say, for the juice, the nectar, the soma of practice, which is prana itself, the life force. So we're going to encounter many of those people, and usually, we are there sometimes to hold them for a period of time, as long as it does not hurt us. And that's what we do with our children forever, for example. Because, we brought them into this world and we love them and we are energetically loving them and providing for them. But sometimes it happens with other type of relationship. And that's when we need to be very assertive and very clear on what we are willing to give and what we are not willing to give. Because these energy vampires, they can come and they can suck the blood out of you, and they don't really care, and they are in such deep need of attention or deep need of our energy that they're willing to go to extremes. And that's when we need to say a firm no more, or this is it, or we're done. Yoga aims to make us independent energetically. And for that, we need to take responsibility for our spiritual practice. In Ashtanga, we open our yoga mats 6 days a week. And every day we're there, we're doing our practice the best we could that day. And usually after practice, after we have sung the mantras and we have done our breathing for a couple hours, we feel replenished, we feel open, we feel happy, we feel even willing to share that energy with others. But what happens if someone comes and every day sucks all of our energy out? Then we may start living in red numbers, that's how I call it. Either we have more space to practice, or we separate from these energies that are sucking ours. And that takes an awareness that this is happening, of course, but also the courage to set boundaries and say no, this is over. You are going to have to be responsible for your refueling, let's say it. Asteya is the capacity to be in ourselves and to be contained in our own energy, so we don't have to be begging anyone for energy. And that's very empowering, especially for us women. I think it's a wonderful way to live our life. And we have all been raised to seek validation from men, to look for approval for our actions. When we finally come to that moment when we don't really care about what other people think about ourselves, we are free. We are free to pursue our practice and our lives in a more generous way to ourselves. Being pending on others people's opinions around us, that's really takes a lot of our energy. They are actually sucking on our energy. When you finally say, I'm gonna do the best that I can according to what I believe and what I know. And yeah, it's very probable that some people won't like it because maybe before they used to suck on you and you didn't know then, and you were like letting them do it. But suddenly it comes this like boom, this flash of awareness, and you say, that's enough, no more. And Asteya is knowing that we are independent energetically, and then we can freely give our energy to whoever we want. That's beautiful. We have plenty, we have abundance, have prosperity, and that's the greatest prosperity, our energetic quality, our energy, and our Shakti, we call it in yoga. And then, yeah, of course, we choose certain people and we have these exchanges, and then our life becomes much more happy. Because when you have a spiritual vampire on top of you, maybe you start feeling very tired, maybe you are like feeling low, you're feeling like sad, sometimes you feel like angry and you don't even realize what is happening. I remember starting my career as a yoga teacher. I used to have this student, and she was full of injuries and full of dramas, and she would always come to me after class and stay like for half an hour just complaining about practice, complaining about her body, complaining about pains, complaining about like, and I was still very like, let's say, immature in my teaching. And I used to listen to her, and then I started getting injured myself. And I injured my shoulder, I injured my wrist, I injured my lower back, and it was very strange. There was a connection going on because finally this person left my studio, and instantly I started healing. And that's when I understood that she was preying on me. But then I didn't know. I thought the right thing was to just listen to your students and whatever they have to say. No. You don't have to do anything that you don't feel comfortable with. Yeah, of course you have to listen to your students, but some people come to the classes and they have a habit of complaining. And they love getting attention like that. I used to have another student, and he would always come late to class. And he was not only coming late, he would come late and noisy. And he would just do the thing with the mat, and then he was like a mess. And finally I decided, after telling him like, I don't know, 100 times, please don't come late, you're interrupting the class that already started, I decided to close the gate and then put a beautiful announcement that says, this class already started, you're invited to come to the next one. And I remember people screaming in the gate, open the gate! And no, they were late. And thanks to that boundary, they started coming to class on time. And it was very effective. So this setting of boundaries, we need to get good. Because we're gonna find all types of energetic vampires out there in life. And yes, we want to help people, of course, and we want to approach people and share with them when our basket is full, and we are willing to do so. But it's like those people that call you and they don't even ask you, can you stop now? I used to have a friend like this in Costa Rica. She would just call And she would start like speaking like for half an hour non-stop in her own monologue. And she didn't even care if I was with my kids. And the same, I had no boundaries then. Now if she called me, I said, I'm sorry, let's program a call because right now I'm busy, or I cannot speak to you now. And like now I have a different perspective. But back then, I didn't know about all these yoga practices, and I was just like being stepped on. And we have also done it ourselves. We have all identified with relationships and thinking that we're gonna die when the person leaves us, or the relationship changes, and that's not true. Relationships come and go, just the same as postures come and go in our practice. And what doesn't come and go is our connection to the love, the connection to our soul, to our spirit. And that's the aim of yoga practice, to understand there's a place inside of us that we can nurture and feed every single day. And of course, all the prana that we gather is for us to share. Of course, yes. It's not for us to just accumulate and hoard. No, it's for us to share. But it's for us to share with those we choose to. We decide, we select who we want to share our energy with. And that's a conscious action. It's not random, it's a thoughtful process. So Asteya is the capacity to be independent in our energy, the capacity to know ourselves, know when we're tired, know when we're a little down. Maybe that day we need to rest. Maybe that day we need to be quiet. Maybe we need to go in a little fasting mode and just go within. Everything we need is within us. And some relationships nurture that space inside. That's so beautiful. Some relationships do exactly the opposite. Those are the relationships that we need to clip. And in the moment it may be hard, but on the long run is the best. Not only for us, but also for them. Because if we keep letting them suck into an energy, then we are enabling these people. We are not helping them find their own energy. And who knows, maybe because we say no, maybe they, maybe they go and look for someone else to suck energy on. That's one possibility. But maybe they just realize also that no one out there is going to give them what they're looking for. Only our connection to the big boss, that's how I call it, to the energy that sustains us, to the energy that is breathing us, to the energy that holds us with so much love. Asteya is the capacity to stay independent in our energy and to give to others when we have plenty. And sometimes we have plenty and sometimes we have just a little bit just for ourselves. Practice is the way to nurture that connection, and the yoga practice only gets better. That's all I can tell you. It gets better like with age, like good wine. So thank you so much for your comments and your questions, and I'm very happy to be sharing with you. I look forward to meeting you in these bodies, and either here in India. I'm also going to be traveling to Spain and Italy in the spring. I'm super excited, to meet these communities. I was there last year, and there's also a new community in Spain, in the north part of Spain, in Galicia, that I'm really looking forward to teach there. And it's all blessings. So use your energy wisely. Share your energy, of course. Share your energy wisely too. And remember, everything we have is to share, but first we need to nurture our spiritual practice. Thank you so much. Namaste.